Leon Dawson refuses to be categorized as the podcast. So I have like 20 minutes or so before I have to go and pick up my kids. So I'm going to answer as many questions about the workbooks and writing books and planning and planning for success in the next year and making shit happen, all those kinds of things. So I've got a stack of questions that you guys have asked me on social media, and I'm going to answer all of them now. I should say, as we begin, don't forget that at the moment I am doing my very first ever sale and my very first ever Black Friday sale. Holy crap, I'm a sales virgin. But I am doing 25% off everything. So 25% off my entire Goal Getter workbook range for 2021. So you can get your life goals workbook, your business goals workbook, your daily to-do list planner, your weekly planner, and the big, beautiful 2021 wall planner as well. And then you can also get 25% off all my courses, including money, manifesting and multiple streams of income, 40 days to create and sell your e-course, and 40 days to finish your book. So run forth and get the Black Friday sale because it's only on this weekend. All right, let's go through and answer some of your questions. Okay, so the very first one is a kind of a simple one, like how do I use the workbooks? I've got my Goal Getter books and I love them. Can you tell us what to do once we have them? Do I start planning now or wait until closer to the new year or after the new year? It feels like a dumb question. The answer will be to do it what I want, but any guidance would be great. So here's the thing. You can do it at any time. People start doing their planning from now on. For me personally, I've always tended to wait until after Christmas because I feel like I'm focusing on finishing out my year strong with the goals I've already set this year. And I also feel like the energy is building towards Christmas now. So usually Boxing Day, I start using my workbooks, and I usually start off by doing the yearly reviews in both the life workbook and the business workbook. And I go through and do a review, and I'll swap back and forth between them, and then I start filling out the rest of them, and again swapping back and forward as I come up with ideas and as I think things through. And for me, it usually takes up until end of January to finish them. I always make sure I give myself a deadline to finish them, otherwise they're never going to get done. So that's how I do it, but everybody does it differently. If that works for you, however, do it now. If you don't have any goals right now and you haven't done any planning for this year already, I'd start using them now so that you can start getting some goals like ticked off now. Hooray. I've still got goals I'm working on this year from this year's workbooks. I definitely like to have accountability partners as well. So if you don't have accountability buddies, make sure you find a friend who is going to do the workbooks with you, or give them the workbooks for Christmas, and then you can work on them together. There's so many beautiful souls who actually create workbook planning parties together, so they come together to fill them out, and then they come back together every single month to talk about their goals for that month and how they're working on them. And that can be really beautiful, and that can happen face to face, and that can also happen digitally as well. So get your friends on the Goal Getter wagon with you, because you will succeed so much more when you do it that way. What else? Yeah, that's how to do that. And then for me as well, in terms of the actual using the weekly and monthly planner for the year, I guess this is kind of a new thing for everyone because I haven't produced this since 2016. But what I like to do again is I usually get my kids' school calendar at some point in January or whenever term starts back up again. And I will go through my planner and actually start locking it in beforehand and fill in all of the dates for birthdays and things like that, just so I kind of have an indication of when things are going to happen for me in the year. And with the wall planner, pop that up on my wall, and I like to write what launches and what my big deadlines are and when my holidays are, all that kind of stuff, so I can see it mapped out visually on the wall and start slotting in goals into that. So that's how the system works together, and then you can use the daily to-do list planner to get your shit done on a daily basis. For me as well, part of my weekly plan is to every Sunday night, I sit down with my weekly planner and I write in what I'm doing that week, and I highlight it or I use stickers to embellish it, because for me, visually, I like to see where things are, and that way I won't forget them as much. And I also like to write in, what are the big things that I want to get done this week. I also like to use the eat the frog principle that Brian Tracy talks about. And what he says is with every year, with every month, with every day that you have, with every week that you have, there's going to be some really important tasks that you need to get done, and you're going to want to avoid doing them because it's like eating a frog. But he says if the first thing that you do every morning is wake up and eat a frog, aka do the thing that you don't want to do, then those big tasks are taken care of and you can just get on with the rest of your life and feel great and productive. So I like to use a highlighter. So when I'm looking at my yearly and my monthly and my weekly and my daily goals, I like to highlight the 3 frogs and try and do them first to get them out of the way each day. And that can be really, really useful. So I hope that's handy on how you use the workbooks, but most of all, just use them and get them done. And the more you use them and the more you put work and love and effort into them, the more you're going to see results. Okay, the next question is planning for success in the next year. I know that your workbooks play a big part in your process, but is there anything else that you do to set yourself up, keep yourself on track, and stay motivated? And how do you stay on track from day to day? My thoughts and actions have been scattered lately, and I want to get back on track. You're a wonderful inspiration to me, and your work keeps me motivated. Thank you for all you do. Big hugs from Canada, Marie, France. Marie, France. That's why. Here we go. I'll just say it with a real Australian accent. Marie, France. Okay, so basically what I just said with using the Goal Getter books, use the workbooks, fill them out, make them dog-eared, make them, put as many highlight marks in there as possible and stay as close to them as possible. I like the saying as well that a millionaire looks at their goals once a day, a billionaire looks at their goals twice a day. So the more that you look at them, the better it is. And even if you just write down your most important goal every single day, that's going to help hugely as well. So again, mapping out what I want to get done, when I'm going to get it done, and eating those frogs on a daily basis, using the Goal Getter planners and the wall planner and the daily to-do list planner, that's all a big part of my success. For me, I'm not one of those people that naturally will say they're going to do something and then remember to do it and follow it the whole way through. I definitely have to give myself these processes and procedures to help me get there. And that's why I share them with the world, guys, because it actually really helped turn this flaky hippie into somebody who is seriously fucking productive and can make some major shit happen and get her goals and kind of her life together. So I offer them up to you. And I hope that you fucking use them. And again, remember, Black Friday sale, 25% off, run. I'm never fucking doing that again. I might do it next year, but not for another year, guys. So you should probably get in there now. Okay. Somebody wanted to ask me about how I deal with fear and comparison and self-doubt. Now, I should probably do a whole podcast episode about this. Let me know if you want me to do a whole podcast episode about this. But the number one thing I want to say is that, the people who aren't afraid and don't have comparisonitis and aren't struggling with self-doubt, that is straight white men. So the very fact that we are all fucking dealing with it is evidence that it is white supremacy and the patriarchy and capitalism at play. And so what we say to that? We say, fuck that. And we get on with our magnificent lives being the magical unicorns that we are. And just enjoy the fuck out of who you are. You are a precious, precious human designed to be exactly what you are. And you're supposed to have a lot of fun with that as well. I fucking do. And that's what I want for you. I want you to just be happy being the glorious, majestical person that you are with the beautiful constellation of cells that you've been designed to be. And that's all really. Okay, somebody's got another workbook questions. What do you personally put in each day's space on the poster? So I don't necessarily use like the space each day on the wall planner poster, and instead I put in the blocks of stuff. So I'd put in holidays. I put in like the major holidays like Christmas and Easter and whatever fucking thing you celebrate. Cool, chuck that in there. The ones that I know that things are going to be like shop's going to be closed and I need to prep some shit for it. And then I like to put my launches in there and when the kids are going to be home from school, basically. And then at the top of the goal getter planner, you've got a couple of things to fill out as well. You want to set your income goal for that month. If you've got a static income, that's totally fine. You might want to put in there things that you want to manifest into abundance, what kind of things that you want to manifest. Then you also say how you want to feel that month. And then you put in your top 3 goals for that month as well. And that, just doing that process over and over again, helps you stay more closely connected to your goals and helps you make more magic happen and make more abundance happen. Very important. Another question is, where should I start in the workbooks? Start with the review. Start with the end of year review because everybody likes to try and avoid that. But I promise you it is gold. And it's one of the most important things that you can do is start mining the previous year for all of the lessons and the blessings that have happened to you so that you can turn it into wisdom, so you can turn it into gold for you to carry on with into the next year. And it's okay if mistakes were made because then you've still learned the lesson from that and you get to not make that mistake again, right? Live the dream. So do the fucking reviews. It'll be hugely useful and like going to fucking therapy, honestly. What was your favorite part or page design in this run? Oh, I like this question. I did do quite a bit of redesign in the workbooks this year. Basically, I do redesign them. I do a major redesign every couple of years, and then I do, I add to it and revise it on other years. And this year I wanted to go through and make it simpler because I know there was a lot of questions that kind of they could repeat themselves in slightly different ways, but I wanted to simplify it so it felt less overwhelming, especially to do the end of year review in there. And then I also, there was some kind of older style design through there that I'd done like a few years ago that was just more plain boxes, and I kind of rejigged those into like even more cute designs and stuff like that, and that was really fun. And this was the first year as well that I used my iPad, and I used the iPad Pro on that one because they were doing the larger designs. I did just talk about how to do digital designs in my last podcast episode, so check that out if you want to go into the details of it. But I used my iPad Pro and my Apple Pen and used the app Procreate to design a whole bunch of the pages in the Goal Getter workbooks this year. And it was stunning, and it was so easy and so much simpler than doing everything by hand with Japanese brush pens and then scanning it in and cleaning it up and then laying it out on the page. It was so much easier just to go, okay, that's the page I want to create. I'll do that on my iPad, insert it into InDesign, done, fucking solid. So that was really fun. I loved that. I loved it. And I'm really thrilled with how they look. And I'm fucking thrilled that we could do the spiral bound again this year. I know some people are a little bit bummed that I'm not offering them on Amazon this year, but I can't if they're spiral bound. So guys, we can have nice things, but we can't have all the things. So just buy them off the fucking website, goalgetterbooks.com. And if you get them, like this weekend, you can look for 25% off. Oh my fucking God, run now. Okay, next question. When do you recommend doing the year review? End of December, wait till New Year. Well, I've already answered this question, but that's cool. I tend to wait till end of December, but some people get started right away. Whatever you feels right to you, do it. Number 2 question for this was, how do you get past the block of not wanting to mark them as they're so beautiful and getting to the point where you carry them with you everywhere and get them dog-eared? Okay, my love. Well, thank you for saying that they're so beautiful. But the reason these books are made is for you to absolutely fuck them up. The only way that you can make them beautiful, truly beautiful, is to use them. It's like the Velveteen Rabbit. The only way that the Velveteen Rabbit got real beautiful was by it being played with again and again and again until it was all worn out. It would be very, very sad if you got to the end of 2021 and you hadn't marked that book up to the absolute shittery. That this book is a blank canvas for you to create in, and I want you to create, and I want you to go wild on it, and I want you to have a fucking glorious time with it, and I want you to use it. Use it. Make it the Velveteen Rabbit. It's the only way it can become real. Okay, self-publishing. Hi, Goddess Leonie. A book is pouring out of me right now. It's been years in the making and yet actually just happened over 2 weeks. As an unknown, I'm thinking of self-publishing. Where do I even start? Okay, first and foremost, congratulations. I am so excited for you. This is the thing, right? We think of books, think of these books for years, and it actually doesn't take that long to create a book. It's why I created 40 days to finish your book, because you actually can finish your book in 40 fucking days. Do it. Make the thing happen. And I go through the why you should publish and why you should self-publish in 40 days to create and sell, 40 days to finish your book, and go through all the details of that. For me, I'm actually a massive proponent of self-publishing. I've done all of the things over the years. I've had a major publishing deal. I've self-published through print on demand. I've self-published through printing in China and funding my own print run. And the thing that I come back to again and again and again is self-publishing and doing it by print on demand through a service like Kindle Direct Publishing Service, which doesn't just print Kindle books, but actually does paperback as well. And whenever somebody places an order on Amazon or anywhere else, the book gets printed and sent to them. So it costs you nothing to set up, and it's totally scalable. For me this year with the workbooks, I'm using lulu.com, Lulu.com, purely because they offer the spiral binding options, and to make the checkout process even simpler and cooler, I integrate it with Shopify, which is Shopify, and you can do all kinds of really cool integrations. So you can use Shopify and people buy the book through you and it automatically gets sent to Lulu, and a book gets spat out and sent to the person. And it means there's no waste either, which I fucking love. And it means it reduces the amount of travel distance that books have to make and all that kind of stuff. I fucking love it. So I love self-publishing for many reasons. Number 1 being it makes me a lot more money. And 2, I like a lot more control. And 3, you have to recognize that publishing houses won't get you any fucking sales, basically. They do fuck all marketing. And you're the one who needs to market absolutely everything. So take full responsibility for it and then take full profit for it. Yeah, booyah! Live the dream. Get your book out there. And if you want more information about that, make sure you grab 40 days to finish your book. And again, the sale is on right now. Run. Okay. My question is, how do I discover or find my brand name? I was thinking of building a following with my journey as an introvert and go from there. Okay, so here's the thing with brand names, and other people have other opinions on this, but I don't fucking care because I'm the one who's right. No, I'm just kidding. Is that brand names aren't that important. What's important is you actually just do the fucking thing, and you can change the name later. Do you think I'll change the name of this podcast? Probably. Do you think I give a fuck? No. I mean, honestly, Leonie Dawson refuses to be categorized. It's a fucking joke name because I just couldn't work out a name for it. So this is what I called it. And I've changed my business names all over the years. My website used to be leonielife.com, goddessleonie.com, leonieallen.com, leoniedawson.com, goddessguidebook.com. The workbooks have been called Create Your Goddess Year, Create Your Amazing Year, Create Your Shining Year, and now they are Goal Getter. So I am totally cool with updating brand names, and it doesn't really matter. What matters is actually just creating and sharing under any fucking name, and you can change it later on if you really fucking want to. The end. And so endeth Bossy Leonie. Next question. I promise I'm not a money-hungry freak, but I wonder what sort of actual profit you've made from individual books you've written. I need to convince my partner that I could put time into writing some books and actually earn anything, but he actually wants the cold hard figures. So first and foremost, money-hungry freak. Let's talk about that. I am a money-hungry freak because it's important to, I wouldn't be able to keep doing this as much as I do if I didn't have a way to support myself with money. That's all that money is. And you know who are not calling themselves money-hungry freaks? Men, straight white men. And that's why I have the control of the finances. So I am totally cool with us becoming money-hungry freaks because us as women and as conscious humans, we put the money in really great directions. We take care of ourselves. We have beautiful self-care. We take care of our families. We invest in our children's education. We take care of our communities. And we are, by and large, the biggest philanthropists in the world. So be a money-hungry freak because you're going to redivert those profits, that money, into really good directions. It's awesome. Now, in terms of profit, it is always, it depends on the kind that you do and how much you sell, of course. So it really is how long is a piece of string. With the workbooks this year, because I can set the print on demand levels, I think I'm earning about 40% profit on books. Of course, that's different. It's, I'm doing a 25% off sale at the moment, so my profit is fuck all. But that's fine. It's for sale. Yay. But in terms of actual money, so I think what we'd be looking at, so we've sold probably about just over $100,000 US in books. And I think about $30,000 of that US dollars is in profit at the moment. And I'm grateful that I can just keep such a close eye on the profit margins of that. Now, I'm at nowhere near at the end of my cycle with these books. And I've definitely earned more in years past. At one point, I earned over $1 million in a year from the books, but that wasn't profit. And my profit margins were actually pretty shit on that particular round because I had 25 staff at that point, and that was when I was doing printing in China, and they'd go onto 3 separate boats, and it would cost me $500,000 just to print the fucking books, and then I had to pay for all of the distribution houses, all that kind of stuff. So it can get more complicated when you add more things in it. I do like doing print on demand because I can control those profit margins and really quickly adjust course if the profit margins aren't looking great. Now, in terms of convincing your partner that you could actually earn anything, you absolutely can earn things, but I speak from experience. You can't convince your partner of shit until you actually just create some fucking books and start putting them out there and start making money. So you don't need to convince them of shit. Just do it in your spare time. Build up your income on the side, and Bob's your uncle. Then you can convince them because you've got money in the bank. People always ask me, how do I convince my husband? Blah blah blah. Don't fucking convince them. Just stop talking about it and go do the fucking thing. Just go do the fucking thing, and then they'll see the money in the bank and go, oh wow, you did that fucking thing. I'm yeah, I did. And don't expect other people to believe in you or encourage you or whatever. That's your job. That's your job to encourage yourself Encourage yourself. That's called self-discipline. Okay. I need to go pick up my children now. I will answer more of your questions. And if you've got more questions, please email support@leoniedawson.com and I will do more podcast episodes to answer all your questions. I love talking to you all. I love helping you all out. I was thinking about doing a business and money specific one. So if you've got specific questions about those things, let me know. If you've got questions about e-courses, let me know. If you've got questions about writing books, let me know. If you've got questions about money, let me know. All the things, or anything really. I'm happy to talk shit about anything. But most of all, fucking Black Friday sale. Get in there, bitches. What are you waiting for? 25% off. Goalgetterbooks.com for the Goalgetter books and leoniedawson.com for my e-courses. And no, you can't come back in like 4 days' time and go, but Leonie, I missed out. I'll be like, too bad, so sad. I love you, but you snooze, you lose. All right, I'm going to go pick up these kids. This was fun. Let's go make our magic happen. Bye.